Hey, I'm Professor Drew. I'm not actually a professor, but what I am is trying to learn how to be a professional level cook in my very own kitchen. Frying foods scares the living bejesus out of me, and today I'm finally going to try and conquer that fear. That's what this channel is all about, after all. What I'm doing today is actually going to be a mock-up of a recipe that is inspired by the famous fried chicken from Willie Mae's Scotch House down in New Orleans, Louisiana. The recipe I'm using today is from a guy named John Currence. He was a friend of the family, and he made this recipe as a tribute because Willie Mae's holds their actual recipe very secret. But one thing that we do know is that they use a wet brine and a batter. Well, we know they use a batter. Not too sure on the wet brine, but in John Currence's recipe, he uses a wet brine. One thing that he uses that's very interesting is Coca-Cola. And I've seen some discourse online on Reddit about whether or not Willie Mae's actually does this. So we're going to kind of test it a little bit. We're going to do two different brines. We're going to do one with Coca-Cola, and we're going to do one with just plain old classic buttermilk, and see which one fits the Willie Mae's criteria a little bit more. Now, Willie Mae's, in my humble opinion, is the best fried chicken I've ever had in my entire life. I've only had Willie Mae's once in my life. It has forever changed it, and I have been chasing that high of that fried chicken ever since. Without further ado, let's go ahead and make that brine. I'm using Mexican Coke because I figured since Mexican Coke actually just uses regular cane sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup, it might be a little bit better. I don't know if I've ever had Mexican Coke. Is it a twist? It's not a twist. I need a bottle opener. That's good. Oh, there we go. So yeah, we're just gonna pour this in here. Not really worried about the carbonation because it's just a brine. The carbonation, I don't think is gonna affect anything. It's the acidity we want. All right, and next we are going to do a half teaspoon of liquid smoke. Ooh, that is a strong smell. So we're gonna try to get half a teaspoon in there. Yeah, John Currence once again. Oh, we're spilling everywhere. Wouldn't be cooking if you didn't make a mess. That's what you have a towel for. Something I will say that I have learned over time, but you want to give it a good shake, but having a good Worcestershire sauce really ups the game. Like you can get a cheaper one and it's gonna be fine, but having one that tastes good on its own, that extra bit of money is absolutely worth it for me because this bottle has lasted me a while now. I can't remember when I got it. Does Worcestershire sauce go bad? I don't really care. It tastes fine. So we're gonna do like 2.5 tablespoons, and then we're gonna need some, he calls for Tabasco, but I have some Louisiana's Pure Crystal hot sauce. This hot sauce is fantastic. It's really simple. It's 3 ingredients, just aged red cayenne pepper, distilled vinegar, and salt. It's really simple, it's really clean, but it's really delicious. So about a tablespoon. I'm keeping that about the same. I like a good amount of spice. And then we're also going to add I'd say about 1.5 tablespoons of salt. Then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of black pepper. And now there's nothing left to do but whisk it all up. It smells delicious. Give it a little taste. I think it's going to be interesting. Pepper. Caught in my throat. All right. Well, I think that tastes interesting. I think the acidity is what we're looking for here, getting some of that tang, some of the sweetness from the Coca-Cola. That might be the one big difference that we're going to have between this and the buttermilk is going to be that bit of sugar. I mean, there's a bit of sweetness in buttermilk, but it's mostly tang. It's very thick. It's like almost kind of like a yogurt, which is something you could also use as a substitute if you want. Pre-measured for this one. Make it a bit quicker. Might even have a little extra salt in this one. And this one's so much thicker. All right. Now we've got our chicken in our bags, and we're going to actually put them in these vacuum seal bags with the brines. We're just going to pour the brine in there. Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. All right, look at that. And let's grab our Coca-Cola brine here and set this up so I don't spill it all over the counter. And just pour that in there. Beautiful. I will say, I spoke too soon. I was going to say the salt looks like it. Well, that's part of it, I guess. No, we're going to go and do the same thing here. We're going to scoop some of this extra bit of salt and the goodness. Try to scoop some of that into the brine. And look at that. I made a mess. All right, I'm gonna get this cleaned up and then we can vacuum seal these, put them in the fridge for a few hours, and go on to making everything else. All right, now we're gonna vacuum seal these. I'm actually gonna take this roll out. Oh, great. I need more vacuum seal bags. Now it's time to vacuum seal the chicken. I'm nervous about this because, well, there's liquid in this, and I'm scared that the liquid is going to just spill over and cause a huge mess, but well, looks like it did. Look at that. And now I'm a mess. Let's hope that this one doesn't just fully throw the liquids up, and I spoke too soon. This thing's really struggling. It's weird, it hasn't froze like this before. It's just kind of stuck. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure what to do here. Okay, there we go. Did it seal? Oh, it didn't seal. That's weird. That's very strange. It just decided not to seal. Okay, we gotta do this again, I guess. All right, we got a seal on this. Oh, I'm gonna need to put on a new shirt. I'm gonna get these cleaned up, put in the fridge, and yeah, we're just gonna fry these puppies up in a few hours. All right, next it says to fill this halfway with peanut oil and lard. Now we're just gonna let that heat up. Our first batch is done. Got a little burnt, a little toasted, and the batter did not cling very well, but you know, for a first try, it's not bad. We'll have to taste. Here we go. It's not Willie Mays, but that is really good for my first batch of fried chicken. Wow, it's juicy. It's got so much flavor in there. Very solid first try at fried chicken. And finally, the Coca-Cola brine. Hope I don't burn my mouth. I got all batter there. Okay, I can taste the Coca-Cola, but not in a bad way. It's got a bit of sweetness. There's some other kind of Coca-Cola spices, but it's not just like overpoweringly Coca-Cola, but it is there, and it's good. I just burned my tongue. I want to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Cheers.